Hello, good evening everyone. Welcome to OET Speaking Speculation. This is me, 𝐎𝐤𝐞𝐚𝐤𝐬𝐴𝐻 from Neethu's Academy. Very happy to see you all back here for another live session. ഇന്നും നമ്മളൊരു എക്സാം മോഡൽ ക്യൂ കാർഡ് ആയിട്ട് തന്നെയാണ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതിൻ്റെ പ്രോപ്പർ ഡിസ്കഷൻ, അതിൻ്റെ എക്സിക്യൂഷൻ, എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഈസി ആയിട്ട് ഒരു കാർഡ് നമുക്ക് 3 മിനിറ്റ്സിൽ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്, അത് എത്രത്തോളം ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുൾ ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് അവിടെ പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും, ഇങ്ങനത്തെ കാര്യങ്ങളെല്ലാം വളരെ ഈസിയസ്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡിലായിരിക്കും നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ വി ബീൻ ഗെറ്റിംഗ് എ ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് response and good feedback for the live session, so thank you so much for all the love and support you guys are showing towards us. So ഇന്നും നമ്മളത് പ്രോപ്പർ ആയിട്ട് തന്നെ ഒരു ഇന്ററാക്റ്റീവ് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൽ തന്നെ എപ്പോഴും ഞാൻ സെന്റൻസുകൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കാണിച്ചു തരാറുണ്ട്. അതിലുപരി ഓരോ ടാസ്കുകൾ സ്ക്രീനിൽ കാണിക്കുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും ഈ ടാസ്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത് എന്നൊരു രീതിയിൽ ആ ഒരു സെന്റൻസ് കൂടെ കമന്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഗോയിങ് ടു ബി വെരി ഇന്ററാക്റ്റീവ് സെഷൻ. എനിക്ക് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ലൈവ് കറക്ഷൻസ് തരാനും പറ്റും. യു വിൽ അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് ഓക്കെ ഇത് ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, നിങ്ങളുടെ മിസ്റ്റേക്സ് ഒക്കെ റെക്ടിഫൈ ചെയ്ത് യു ക്യാൻ ഇംപ്രൂവ്. നിങ്ങളൊരു സെന്റൻസ് കോമെന്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അത് കാണുന്ന മറ്റൊരു പാർട്ടിസിപ്പൻറ്റ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വ്യൂവറിന് കൂടെ ആ ഒരു ഐഡിയ കിട്ടുവാണ്. ഓക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാം, ഈ ഒരു ടാസ്ക് ഇങ്ങനെയും നമുക്ക് അപ്രോച്ച് ചെയ്യാം എന്നൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് അങ്ങോട്ടും ഇങ്ങോട്ടും ഷെയർ ചെയ്ത് പഠിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം കൂടിയാണ്. സോ യെസ്, ഐ റിക്വസ്റ്റ് എവ്രി വൺ ടു ഹാവ് എ ആക്റ്റീവ് പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേഷൻ ത്രൂ ഔട്ട് ദ ലൈവ് സെഷൻ. Okay, so yes, good evening everyone. I hope you're having a really good time and your preparation is going well as well. If you have any doubts related to OET speaking, for the next 1 hour, I'll be there with you guys. You can ask me any doubts, no matter what it is, okay? Yes, good evening everyone. Yes, Monica, good evening. Joseph, good evening. All right, I think Monica, you were not there for the speaking club today. Alright, so എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഒരു ലൈവ് സെഷൻ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. So I'll be using both the languages, Malayalam and English. So those who are non-Malayalis who are watching this live session, you do not have to worry that I'm using the colloquial language, because whatever I say in Malayalam, I'll be translating that in English as well. So you will not miss out any points, okay? So I'll ensure that I explain in both the languages. Sometimes I'll have to stick on to my own languages to make sure it is well understandable, it is explained in a better way too. So I'll explain in both language so that it will be okay for both the category. Okay, so Dinesh, hi, good evening. Alright, so without wasting much time, let's get started with the session. So as I told you, I'll be showing a cue card on screen. I'll give it 3 minutes preparation time. You have to go through the entire card, pan it, understand the context, prepare it properly and be ready with the explanations for each task. Karanam, right from the beginning, like the opening statement and moving into task, we will be discussing it together. So I'm actually going to try a different method today. So usually now the transcript with the patient and the nurse dialogue, but today what I'm going to focus is more into the sentence construction aspect. So I'll be showing you 2 sentence constructions for each task. ഒരെണ്ണം വളരെ ബേസിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള നോർമൽ ഒരു സെന്റൻസ് ആയിരിക്കും. ദ സെക്കൻഡ് വൺ വുഡ് ബി ലിറ്റിൽ മോർ ആൻ അഡ്വാൻസ്ഡ് വൺ വിത്ത് ഒരു ചോയ്സ് ഓഫ് വേർഡ്സിലും ഇഡിയോമാറ്റിക് എക്സ്പ്രഷൻസിലും കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ഡിഫറെൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അഡ്വാൻസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സെന്റൻസ് ആയിരിക്കും. സോ ദ റീസൺ വൈ ഐ ഹാവ് ചൂസ് ദിസ് മെത്തേഡ് ഇസ് ടു ഷോ യു ദർ ആർ വേരിയസ് മെത്തേഡ്സ് ഓഫ് സെന്റൻസ് കൺസ്ട്രക്ഷൻ. ഓക്കെ, സെന്റൻസ് കൺസ്ട്രക്ഷൻ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ട് ഫീൽ ചെയ്യുന്നവരാണ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഫേസ് ചെയ്യുന്നവരാണെന്നെങ്കിൽ ഡോണ്ട് വറി. After you look into this live session, you learn the aspects, it will be easier for you. Okay, so yes, we will start with the session right now. You'll be able to see this card on screen. Monica, I do understand it's because of the work. Okay, so I'll be giving you 3 minutes time. You can go through this card. Alright, so I hope you guys have had a thorough read and you understood the context and the entire idea of how to execute this card as well. So let's start discussing it one by one with really good sentence constructions. Okay, so before we get into the discussion part, I would like to know from your end whether it is a known case or an unknown case. So that is the first and foremost thing you have to do when you get a cue card. You have to identify the context and try to know how you can approach this card. So in order to identify that, you have to finalize whether it is a known case category or an unknown case category. So Monica is saying it is a known case. That is correct. Joyce is saying it is a known case. Josie is saying it is a known case. Yes, you all are correct. It is a known case because while you're reading the background information here, it is pretty much evident because it is said the patient has been admitted with a leg injury. So since the patient has been admitted, okay, we are considering it as a known case, so that is correct. So now, once you know it is a known case, what is the next thing you have to do? You have to check whether you need to ask the name of the patient. Yes, you have to because it is a known case. Definitely you have to ask the name. But the second question is, do you need the name of the bystander here? Here from the background information, you can understand you're having this conversation with the bystander. So what do you think? Do you need to ask the name of both the patient and the bystander or just the patient? What do you think? So Josie is saying we need to ask the name of the patient. So just the patient? Or do we need to ask the name of the bystander too? So Joyce is saying you have to ask both the names, I suppose, because you just mentioned yes, so I'm supposing it is both the names. What do you guys think? Do you need both the names or just the patient name? Please comment down. So Sanita is saying just the patient, okay. Any other response? Any other response? Just the patient. So Josie is saying at the time of starting the conversation, okay, and Monica is saying just the patient. All right, so I'm going to tell you there are two types of opening statement for this particular role play, and I'll tell you the explanations to it as well, so you will understand it in a better way. So let's start or dive into the explanations. So as I told you, there are two types of opening statement for this particular context. Now you must be wondering what would be the type 1 and what would be type 2. So let me explain that in detail to you. So if you have a book or a pen handy with you, please make notes of this because you will come across such scenarios in the future for the examination and this will come handy. You will understand ഇതുപോലത്തെ scenarios വരുമ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് ഇത് deal ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. You will get that idea and this idea will definitely help you while you're attending the examination too. So now let's read the first scenario there. You can see it on the screen. It's given the patient has been admitted and the bystander requested to see you. Therefore, you can assume you have had previous conversations with both of them. In that case, you need to ask the interlocutor names of both patient and the bystander. From the very explanation itself, it is clear to you, right? This is just type 1. So as per type 1, we are assuming since it is mentioned the patient is admitted and the bystander requested to see you, we are assuming this wouldn't be the first time you're having a conversation with a bystander here for this particular patient. So we are assuming we know these two people, so we have to ask the name of both the patient and the bystander. അങ്ങനെയാണ് നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നതെങ്കിൽ imagine the name of the bystander is Mr. Smith. You can go like this. You can try any of this statement or multiple other statements too which is actually having the same meaning. You can try, good morning Mr. Smith, how can I help you? You don't need to introduce yourself. You don't need to confirm the relationship here because we are assuming we have had previous conversations with this patient. And why are we assuming that? Because it is given the patient was admitted there and the bystander requested to see you. So we are assuming this is not the first time we are having a conversation here, so we can skip the introduction part, which means where you're saying your name, your role and things like that. So we're just directly diving into good morning Mr. Smith, how can I help you? Or good morning Mr. Smith, you wanted to see me? Like a question. Your rising intonation should be rising intonation. It should not go down. When you're starting a question with you have to have a rising intonation, not just you question. For all the questions, you end the last word with a rising intonation. So you wanted to say me? You're asking a question. This is type 1. Now let's look into type 2. Okay, so type 2 is the one which some of you mentioned in the comment section. So let's see what is type 2. Type 2 means if it's not mentioned that you have examined the patient or you have been taking care of this patient in particular, right? It's nowhere mentioned that you have examined or you yourself have been taking care of this patient. However, since it is a non-case scenario, you must know the name of patient but not necessarily that of the bystander. എടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല നിങ്ങളാണ് ഈ പേഷ്യന്റിനെ നോക്കിക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്നതെന്നും നിങ്ങൾ ഈ പേഷ്യന്റിനെ എക്സാമിൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടെന്നും എടുത്ത് തന്നിട്ടില്ലാത്തത് കൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഇങ്ങനെയും അസ്യൂം ചെയ്യാം. സോ ബോത്ത് ദ മെത്തേഡ്സ് ആർ ഫൈൻ ഹിയർ. അപ്പോൾ രണ്ടാമത്തെ ടൈപ്പാണ് നിങ്ങൾ ഫോളോ ചെയ്യുന്നതെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ആരുടെ പേര് മാത്രം മതി? പേഷ്യന്റിന്റെ പേര് മാത്രം മതി. നോട്ട് നെസസറി ദാറ്റ് യു നീഡ് ടു നോ ദ നെയിം ഓഫ് ദ ബൈസ്റ്റാൻഡർ. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ എന്തായിരിക്കും നമ്മുടെ ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ? യുവർ ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ വിൽ ബി good morning, my name is Caroline. I am one of the registered nurses on duty today. You have to greet, you have to say your name, your role, and then you have to confirm the relationship, right? Because നമ്മൾ ഇവരോട് സംസാരിച്ചിട്ടില്ലാത്തത് പോലെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഡീൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ നമ്മൾ നോൺ കേസ് ആയിട്ട് ഡീൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ്? പേഷ്യൻ്റ് അഡ്മിറ്റഡ് ആണ്. നഴ്സിന് പേഷ്യന്റിനെ അറിയണം എന്ന് നിർബന്ധമില്ല. പേഷ്യന്റിന്റെ എന്തെങ്കിലും റിപ്പോർട്ട് ആ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൽ ജനറേറ്റഡ് ആണെങ്കിൽ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് എ നോൺ കേസ് no matter even if the nurse has spoken to the patient or not. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ ഒരു നോൺ കേസ് ആയിട്ട് തന്നെ കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യാണ്. And then we are communicating with them by confirming the relationship. You must be Mr. Patrick's son. Mr. Patrick is our patient. Okay, so പേഷ്യന്റിന്റെ പേര് നമുക്ക് എങ്ങനെ അറിയാം? നോൺ കേസ് ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഒബ്വിയസ്ലി വിൽ ബി ആസ്കിംഗ് ദ നെയിം ഓഫ് ദ പേഷ്യന്റ്, റൈറ്റ്? സോ മിസ്റ്റർ പാട്രിക്കിന്റെ സൺ ആണോ എന്നായിരിക്കും നമ്മൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് ചോദിക്കുക. ദെൻ ദ നെക്സ്റ്റ് തിങ് വിൽ ബി യു നീഡ് ദ നെയിം ഓഫ് ദി ബൈസ്റ്റാൻഡർ ടു. സോ നെക്സ്റ്റ് യു ക്യാൻ ആസ്ക് മേ ഐ നോ യോർ നെയിം പ്ലീസ്. Okay, then the patient is saying my name is Mr. Smith. Okay, ഇനിയാണ് നമ്മൾ കോൺവെർസേഷനിലേക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്. ഫസ്റ്റ് ടാസ്ക് എന്തായിരുന്നു? Ask why the patient's family member or relative wanted to see you or requested to see you. So you're going to ask, all right, Mr. Smith, I was informed you requested to see me. How can I assist you? I was informed you requested to see me. How can I help you? Okay, so this is how you can have the introduction or the opening statement. ഈ രണ്ട് മെത്തേഡും ഇവിടെ ഓക്കെ ആണ്. റീസൺ ബീങ് രണ്ടിൻ്റെയും ടൈപ്പ് 1 ടൈപ്പ് 2 എന്നുള്ളത് പ്രോപ്പർ ആയിട്ട് എന്തുകൊണ്ട് ടൈപ്പ് 1 ഓക്കെ ആണ്, എന്തുകൊണ്ട് ടൈപ്പ് 2 ഓക്കെ ആണെന്നുള്ളത് നമ്മൾ ക്ലിയർ ആയിട്ട് നോക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഐ ഹോപ്പ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ക്ലിയർ ടു യു ഗൈസ്. സോ രണ്ടും ഇവിടെ ഓൾ റൈറ്റ് ആണ്. Okay, so I hope the opening statement is clear. Now let's dive into the next portion. So ഇനി തൊട്ട് I'll be showing the task and then I'll give you few seconds time, maybe a 1 minute time also, and I want to see sentences in the comment section. You have to go through the task. This is your task number 2. Provide information about his current condition, fractured femur, surgery to stabilize fracture, recovery process. Okay, so you have to think about a proper sentence to explain this, and please comment on the comment section. I'll give you a minute time and then I'll show you my sentences. Go for it. All right. So I gave you a lot of time to think about this particular task and construct a statement. So I would love to see what you have constructed or what you have thought about. So feel free to comment in the comment section. I would definitely look into it. Okay. So while you're constructing a sentence for a task, you need to understand what exactly is the topic sentence that you need to elaborate. So the topic sentence is a sentence that is without the bracket. Okay, so that is the main topic that you're going to elaborate to the patient. And then the bracketed bullet points are called the additional points, just to modify the entire information of the topic sentence. So always remember that you're elaborating the topic sentence first, and then you start into the explanation of each part. Okay, so try to construct a statement and let us know in the comment section. So yes, Lima Thomas, good evening. BG, patient name Ali. Yes, that is also one of the type of opening statement. You're right. Any sentences for this task? So Monica is saying, as you know that your father underwent the surgery for the fracture of femur and he is in recovering process, don't worry. Okay, well understandable. But the sentence needs to be a little more precise to the task itself. So this is actually kind of like a summary. I'm getting the idea. Okay, the task idea has been said, which is good enough. Any other sentences? Okay, Sanava is saying, I will provide more information about Mr. Patrick's present condition. Beautiful topic sentence. So here, she actually elaborated the topic sentence. എന്താണ് നമ്മുടെ topic sentence? Provide information about his current condition. So Sanitha elaborated that topic sentence as an introduction for the task number 2. She said, I will provide more information about Mr. Patrick's present condition, and beautifully she constructed it from the very own task itself. In front of provide, she added, I will provide more information, okay, about his was changed into Mr. Patrick's, current was changed into present condition. Okay, beautifully done, good job. It is a type of fracture in his femur and we have to perform a surgery to stabilize the fracture. Okay, so here your tense is a little bit wrong because this is something that already happened. So we have to perform means you're saying we have to do it in the future. So the task, the tense is a little bit of a mishap there. But other than that, the idea, the sentence organization is beautiful. Just work on the tense there. So Smith is saying, well, Mr. Smith, your father's condition is improving. Beautiful topic sentence. He had a fracture of bone in leg. Surgery done to stabilize fracture. He is in recovery stage. Wound is healing well. Okay, beautiful. But your each sentences sound a little bit of incomplete there. You need a little more of words to completely execute it. Okay, something like, he had a fracture of bone in leg and surgery was done to stabilize the fracture. He is in recovery stage right now and his wound is healing well. So you need a connection, add the conjunctions and make it like a complete sentence. Okay, so beautiful sentences from all of you. So now I'll show you my sentence so you can have a look at it. So I'll show you two different sentences. First I'll show you my basic sentence and then I'll take you to my advanced sentence. So I'm starting like this. Please don't worry. I can understand that you're really concerned about your father's condition. വളരെ യൂഷ്വൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള കോമൺ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു acknowledgement statement ആണല്ലേ. അതിൽ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. There is nothing for you to be alarmed about. I'm preparing my bystander here. I'm telling പേടിക്കാൻ ഒന്നുമില്ല. Okay, I understand you're worried about your father, but nothing to be alarmed about. He is stable right now. And the surgery to fix his fracture went well. The surgery to fix his fracture went well. Surgery to stabilize fracture. So I'm just saying the surgery that we have done for your father to fix the fracture went well. And he is in the process of recovering. Okay, so I just explained the entire idea in a very basic sentence here. Now, let's have a look at the advanced sentence as well, and then I'll go back to Joyce's sentence. I just show you a sentence. We will definitely look into it. Okay, so the advanced sentence is like this. Please be relaxed, Mr. Smith. I completely understand your concern for your father. I understand your concern, but this is a little bit of a better sentence than the normal I understand your concerns. I completely understand your concern for your father. But rest assured is also a beautiful phrase that you can use here. Rest assured, he is stable now, and the surgery to mend his fracture, previous sentence I endu vaakkarnu use cheythathu fix his fracture ennaayirunnu. Ippo njan endu use cheythu mend his fracture was successful. He is on the path to recovery. He is in the recovery process, and he is in the process of recovering matita. I'm saying he is on the path to recovery. Okay, so this is how I will be explaining this particular task. I'll give you a few seconds to just go through the words and see how you can explain the given task. So coming to Joyce's sentence, Mr. Smith, from your words I understood that you're very much worried about your father's mobility with the AIDS. As you know, after the surgery he's having difficulty to walk without support. He needed to stabilize a fracture for his recovery process. It's very important. No worries, we are here to help you. Good, that is a very detailed explanation. You kind of like clubbed in the next task as well, but I really like the execution. Good job, Joyce. Okay, so this is how you can explain this particular task. I hope it is clear to everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to comment in the comment section. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. You can see this task on screen right now. Confirm the necessity of using a mobility aid, crutches, walker, wheelchair, etc. Explain its importance in aiding mobility and preventing further injury. I'll give you a minute time, brainstorm the ideas and construct a statement like you did for the previous one, and please comment it. Go ahead. Alright, so let me see the sentences. I hope you guys got an idea about how to execute this task. So shoot it in the comment section. Confirm the necessity of using a mobility aid. That is our topic sentence. So first you need to elaborate the topic sentence and then move into each point which is mentioned in the bracket, and also explain the importance of it. So how would you be doing this? Yes, any sentences? So as we wait for the sentences, let's look into my sentence here, and then in the meantime, if anyone has your sentence, just comment it, I'll look into it. Okay, so the first sentence I would be using is, Mr. Smith is required to use mobility aids such as crutches, walker or wheelchair until doctor's advice. It will provide support to his movements and prevent any injuries from falling down. Okay, so confirm the necessity of using a mobility aid. So I'm saying he is required to use, and confirm cheyana യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമുണ്ടാവും, യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരും എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ ഞാൻ പറയാണ്. മിസ്റ്റർ സ്മിത്ത് ഇസ് റിക്വയർഡ് ടു യൂസ് മൊബിലിറ്റി എയ്ഡ്സ് സച്ച് ആസ് ക്രച്ചസ്, walker or wheelchair എപ്പോൾ വരെ? until doctor's advice. എന്തിനു വേണ്ടി? It will provide support to his movements and prevent any injuries from falling down. This is my basic sentence. Okay, so I have Joycey saying, before proceeding further, could you please explain what you know about mobility aids? I really appreciate that transition. Good job. So task number 2-ന്റെ എൻഡിൽ നിന്ന് ഈ ടാസ്കിലേക്ക് നമുക്കൊരു ട്രാൻസിഷൻ വേണം. ബിക്കോസ് ഈ ഒരു ടാസ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ കൺഫേം ചെയ്യുന്നത് അല്ലേ, എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു കാര്യം നമുക്ക് അങ്ങോട്ട് കൺഫേം ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ ആ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ നിങ്ങളുടെ അടുത്ത് റേസ്ഡ് ആയിരിക്കണം. ആ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ അവിടെ റേസ് ആവണമെങ്കിൽ യു ഷുഡ് ലീഡ് ദ പേഷ്യൻറ്റ് ടു ആസ്ക് ദ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ. സോ ഹൗ ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുള്ളി Joycey has done is she is asking a question, do you know anything about the mobility aids? So then definitely the bystander will be like, yeah, I understand the mobility aid thing, but will that be a necessary thing? Like, will he definitely have to use it? എന്നൊരു question ചോദിക്കുമ്പോൾ you can explain this point. Beautiful. Monica, okay, Mr. Smith, it's very much important that your father uses the mobility aid like crutches, walkers and wheelchair. Beautiful topic sentence. Good job, Monica. Okay, yes, I do welcome other comments as well. Go for it. So now let's look into the advanced sentence that I have prepared. So I'm going to start like this. Until advised otherwise by the doctor. You see how it is done? Until advised otherwise by the doctor. ഡോക്ടർ പറയുന്നത് വരെ, അതായത് ഇനി വേണ്ട എന്ന് ഡോക്ടർ പറയുന്നത് വരെ എന്നുള്ളൊരു മീനിങ് ആണ് until advised otherwise by the doctor. It is recommended Mr. Smith rely on mobility aids such as crutches, a walker or a wheelchair. These aids will offer him support while moving around and reduce the risk of injury from falls. Okay, so this is how my advanced statement would look like. So until doctor's advice എന്നൊരു പോയിന്റിനെയാണ് I change to until advised otherwise by the doctor. Otherwise means ഡോക്ടർ ഇപ്പോൾ പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത് എന്താണ്? മൊബിലിറ്റി എയ്ഡ്സ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നാണ്. ഇനി യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒരു അതർവൈസ് എന്നൊരു മീനിങ് ആണല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ മാറ്റി പറയുന്നത് വരെ നിങ്ങൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ ഫാദർ യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരും എന്നൊരു എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻ ആണിത്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഐ ഹാവ് സ്മിത സെയിങ്, your father is in recovery stage. To improve his mobilization, he needs to use a mobility aid such as crutches, walker or wheelchair. These instruments help to give support for movement. Good job. Yes, that's correct too. So അവിടെ he needs to use a mobility aid ന് പകരം needs to use mobility aids such as എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ മതി. കാരണം ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറയുന്നുണ്ട്, not just one. So you are speaking about a crutcher, a walker, a wheelchair. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിലേതെങ്കിലും എടുക്കാം, യൂസ് ചെയ്യാം എന്നൊരു രീതിയിൽ നമ്മൾ സംസാരിക്കണം. സോ അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ a മാറ്റിയിട്ട് you can directly go with mobility aids. Okay, so this is how you can do task number 3. Confirm the necessity of using a mobility aid. You can see both the statements on screen. ഇതുപോലെ നമ്മൾ ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഇഡിയോമാറ്റിക് ഫ്രേസസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വൊക്കാബുലറി സെൻറ്റൻസ് ഫോർമാറ്റ്സ് ഒക്കെ നിങ്ങൾ നോട്ട് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കുക. ലേറ്റർ നിങ്ങൾ 1-to-1 സെഷൻസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്തും ഇതേ കോണ്ടെക്സ്റ്റിൽ തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു കോണ്ടെക്സ്റ്റ് കിട്ടിയാൽ ഗോ ഫോർ ഇറ്റ്. അങ്ങനെ നിങ്ങളത് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളത് പഠിക്കും. You will learn it, and then the next time you will be able to say it automatically even without you have to try for it. So learn it, observe it and try to imitate it. Okay, so now let's move on to the next task. I appreciate all the responses. Keep continuing it. We have 2 more tasks, I suppose, and then we will discuss the conclusion part as well. So you can see the next task on screen. Discuss the time frame for using the mobility aid, gradual transition to walking, physical therapy sessions, address any concerns or questions regarding mobility and recovery. Okay, I'll give a minute time. Go through this and type your sentence. Alright, so I hope you guys have brainstormed some ideas to execute this particular task, but before that I got a response from Joycey for the previous one. Mr. Smith, thank you for sharing your information. Okay, so avade Mr. Smith information share ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. Okay, Mr. Smithന് ഇതിന് മുന്നത്തെ previous conversation വരുന്നത് ഇത് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ആയിട്ട് യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരുമോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇത് നിർബന്ധമായും യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമായിരിക്കും, അത് നെസസറി ആണോ എന്നൊരു രീതിയിലാണ്. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് എ ഷെയറിംഗ് ഓഫ് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ദെയർ. സോ യു ഹാവ് ടു ചേഞ്ച് ദാറ്റ് introduction, like the acknowledgement part. Okay, as I said before, that's a good phrase. Your father has been advised to use mobility aids such as crutches, walker and wheelchair, etc. It helps your father's mobility, not father mobility, father's mobility, and it prevents further injury. The rest of the part is beautifully executed. The start part, the beginning, you just need to work it out. Okay, so now let's look into this particular task, and I do invite sentences from your end, but before that let me show you my sentence. Okay, so let's look at the basic one. He may need to rely on mobility aids like crutches, a walker or a wheelchair for a while to ensure his safety and to aid his recovery journey. We will be guiding him through a gradual transition to walking as he progresses. If you have any questions or worries about his mobility or recovery process, please don't hesitate to ask. We are here to provide support and assistance during this time. Okay, this is how I would be explaining this in a basic sentence. So ഇവിടെ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന ആൻഡ് യു നോ ഇതെല്ലാം ഞാൻ ജസ്റ്റ് ടാസ്ക് എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻസ് മാത്രമാണ്. ഇതിൻ്റെ ഫ്രണ്ടിലുള്ള റിയഷ്യൂറിംഗ് പോയിന്റ്, അക്നോളജ്മെൻറ്റ് പോയിന്റ്സ് ഒന്നും ഞാൻ ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല, ബിക്കോസ് ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് എ പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് ദ എൻറ്റയർ ട്രാൻസ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ്. നൗ ഐ എം ജസ്റ്റ് ഷോയിങ് യു 2 different സെൻറ്റൻസ് കൺസ്ട്രക്ഷൻ ഫോർ ഈച്ച് ടാസ്ക്. ഓക്കെ, സോ അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൻ്റെ ഫ്രണ്ടിൽ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് പറയണം? ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി യു ഹാവ് ടു അക്നോളജ് ദി കൺസേൺ ഓഫ് ദി സൺ. ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി യു ഹാവ് ടു ഡു ഇറ്റ്. അതിനുശേഷമുള്ള എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷനാണ് ഞാൻ ഈ കാണിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത് കേട്ടോ. സോ ഹി മേ നീഡ് ടു റിലൈ ഓൺ മൊബിലിറ്റി എയ്ഡ്സ് ലൈക്ക് crutches, a walker or a wheelchair for a while to ensure his safety and to aid his recovery journey. We will be guiding him through a gradual transition to walking as he progresses. If you have any questions or worries about his mobility or recovery process, please don't hesitate to ask. We are here to provide support and assistance during this time. Now, you have seen the basic sentence. Now let's look at the advanced sentence. The advanced sentence goes like this. He will be using mobility aids such as crutches, a walker or a wheelchair temporarily to support his recovery and prevent any setbacks. We will be overseeing a gradual transition back to walking as he improves. If you have any concerns or questions about his mobility or the recovery process, please feel free to share. We are here to address any worries and ensure his well-being every step of the way. I'll give few seconds time. Take your time to go through the sentences, both the sentences, and see how I have explained the given task. Okay, just go through the words, especially the advanced one, such as setbacks, overseeing, then okay, just go through that. And if you have any sentence from your end, feel free to comment it there. Read through the entire task. Okay, see how the sentences went, and when you're constructing the statement, you have to connect it with the topic sentence and then dive into the bullet points and elaborate the points entirely. Alright, so I hope you guys have read it. Now let's move on to the last task. So you'll be able to see the last task on screen right now. Offer reassurance regarding the recovery process, successful surgery, expected outcomes, rehabilitation plans, etc. Explain the stages of recovery and follow-up appointments. A quick 1 minute, go through the points and see how you can construct it. Okay, so Joyce is actually saying a sentence for the previous one. By using these mobility aids, there will be a gradual transition to walking followed by physical therapy sessions, etc. Okay, it's not followed by, along with physical therapy sessions. Okay, because gradual transition to walking means gradually അയാൾ നടക്കാനായിട്ട് ഓക്കെ ആവും എന്നൊരു രീതിയിലല്ലേ. So gradual transition to walking along with physical therapy sessions. Is there anything, okay, may I assist you with എന്നുള്ളത് മാറ്റിയിട്ട് is there anything I may assist you with എന്ന് rearrange ചെയ്യണം. Okay, is there anything I may assist you with. Okay, so now coming back to our task, let's look at the first sentence, the basic one here. You'll be able to see that now. It goes like this. Don't worry, everything's going according to plan with Mr. Smith's recovery. Mr. Smith's recovery അനുസരിച്ച് എല്ലാം നമ്മുടെ പ്ലാൻ പ്രകാരം തന്നെയാണ് പോകുന്നത്. His surgery went well and we're expecting positive outcomes. Okay, successful surgery നമ്മൾ എങ്ങനെ മാറ്റി? His surgery went well. Expected outcomes, we're expecting positive outcomes, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ the outcomes are as expected. രണ്ട് രീതിയിലും പറയാം. Right now, he's in the early stages of recovery, focusing on rest and healing. We have got a solid rehabilitation plan in place to help him regain strength and mobility. Rehabilitation plans ഉണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. So I'm just saying we have got solid rehabilitation plan in place to help him regain strength and mobility. As he progresses, we will schedule follow-up appointments to monitor his recovery and adjust his treatment as needed. Explain the stages of recovery and follow-up appointments. So I'm saying as he progresses, we will schedule follow-up appointments to monitor his recovery and adjust his treatment as needed. Okay, so I'm just trying to understand the meaning of this task which is given and then constructing a statement there. Now let's look at the advanced statement as well. So the advanced statement goes like this. Rest assured, Mr. Smith's surgery was successful and we are optimistic about his recovery. He is currently in the initial stages of healing, taking it one step at a time. Taking it one step at a time. We have a detailed rehabilitation plan in place to support his progress. Moving forward, we will schedule follow-up appointments to track his recovery journey closely and to ensure he is on the right path to full recovery. Okay, look at the last sentence one more time. Moving forward, we will schedule follow-up appointments to track his recovery journey closely and ensure he is on the right path to full recovery. See how beautifully those sentences are explained, right? So this is how you can execute each of these tasks. I hope it is clear with you. Do you have any questions or doubts about this particular task or any task on this cue card? In a conclusion, you can say, is there anything else I can help you with? And the bystander is saying nothing else. So you can say, I hope I have clarified everything to you. So please wait here or please be with your father. I'll see you for the rounds, for the next rounds. You can say something like that. Or you can say, if you need anything, please ring the buzzer. That is another conclusion. Or you can even suggest bringing the physiotherapist, because you are actually saying about the physiotherapist and things like that, and you're discussing the rehabilitation plans as well. So if you want, you can say, so I hope I have clarified everything to you, so please wait here. I will come back with the physiotherapist after an hour, something like that, and we will discuss the rehabilitation plans with you, something of that sort. Always remember, your conclusion has to be somewhat related to the main context that you have been talking so far. So you need to connect with the main idea as well. Do not just randomly give any direct conclusions like thank you for your time, I appreciate your patience and things like that. You need to be connecting more with the context and give a conclusion which is suitable in that sense. So I hope this is clear to you guys. So thank you very much, and I appreciate everyone who took active participation in this section. And if I have missed any comments after the live session, I will look into it and I'll try to respond to that as well. But thank you so much for your active participation. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care and good night.